Well, Happy New Year. It's time for another update. One that's long overdue. It's been months and months since I've done one of these. So I want to give a quick recap of 2024 and some plans we've got for 25 and where I'm at in my treatment plan. So 24 was probably one of the hardest years I think I've been through. And I think Jess would say the same as well. January 30th of 24, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And for those of you that don't know, it's an incurable cancer. It's a blood and bone cancer. It affects my bone marrow and my immune system, and it kind of wreaks havoc on all sorts of things. So I started chemo right away, Valentine's Day of last year, and we realized that there's a couple places that treat this a little more aggressively than others. And we learned that this facility in Arkansas, UAMS in Little Rock, is often referred to as the world's best treatment center for multiple myeloma. So we very quickly sought care there. We started there in March of last year and immediately started treatment. And I ended up doing 2 transplants last year, bone marrow stem cell transplants. I did one in May and one in July. And quick recap on those. What they do is they give me a chemo that kills all of the bone marrow in my body. And then the next day they give me stem cells to help regrow that bone marrow so I don't die. Pretty awesome. That chemo is a derivative of mustard gas, so it's kind of spicy. The side effects of that are tough. Those were hard recoveries, and I was off work from May until October. I started back to work in October of last year, and my work has been amazing. They have given me more support and been at my side through this more than I could have possibly imagined. There's no better place that I want to work. It really does feel like a community and family and camaraderie there. Thank you for anyone I work with. Thank you for all you've done for us and our family. Also, we wouldn't have been able to make all these trips to Arkansas without the support of all of you guys. There have been people coming to our home to help with some home repairs. We had to get rid of our carpet because of the infection risk and the dander from the dogs. And we had some people help rip out our carpet and help us put new flooring down. And the donations that helped us get down to Arkansas for all of those months, we would not have been able to do that without you guys. And just the outpouring of love and support from everybody. I don't have the words to say thank you. And I don't quite know how to tell you how much it means to us. We also started a podcast last year called Unbroken from the Ashes, kind of telling our story and trying to memorialize life lessons to pass down to Tyler. And we got several of those episodes out, and you'll probably have noticed that I've been off of social media for the most part for a little while. I've been very quiet, and the podcast stopped. And that's because I went through a really bad depression. October through like December, most of December, man, it hit me hard. And I started going to a therapist in December, and when I realized that my normal coping mechanisms weren't getting me through this, and I was really struggling much more than I've experienced in quite a while. But I just didn't have the capacity or the energy to do podcast stuff or editing, and we were just trying to really focus on getting our minds right. Both Jess and me, it hit us both. So, but I think we're on the back end of it now, and feeling a lot better. My mind's in a much better spot. So I have probably 5 or 6 episodes recorded. we just have to take the time to edit them. And editing each of those takes like 15 or 20 hours, just because of how we do the edits and the effort and the level of quality we try to put out. So they're not easy to do, and it takes a lot of effort, but you should start seeing those start coming out again here pretty soon. I don't want to give you a time because I don't know when the first one's going to come out, but they're coming. So thank you for supporting us there and for following us there. Now this year, in January this month, we are going back down to Arkansas again for another set of tests. I'm going to do a bone marrow biopsy and PET scans and MRIs and all of the things and see where I'm at as far as response goes to these transplants. They don't really say remission for this kind of cancer because it doesn't go away. But if I have a full response to the transplants and the chemo, and if the numbers are low enough to at the level that the doctors want to see, they'll call it full response or a total response. And if I'm there, they'll start to taper my chemo down to a less frequent dosing. So right now I take a daily chemo pill, and once a week I get shots in my abdomen under the skin. If I am in a total response, instead of doing the shots every week, that will taper down to twice a month and eventually once a month. And that'll continue for the next 3 years. And I'll be on that maintenance plan, or that diet chemo, as I like to call it, for about 3 years, or unless I relapse. If I relapse, the whole treatment plan changes entirely. And then we start over and kind of see what the next step is. But I know I'm really hopeful for this year. In 2025, we have a lot of goals for spending time with family, I've got goals for work. I have a lot of things that I aspire to do. And I'm very hopeful for good prognosis with all these treatments. So this year is going to be a year of gratitude, a year of focusing on our health, and a year of really paying attention to those things that matter the most. So yeah, this is be a year of gratitude, especially when the days are hard. I think it's even more important to start and end your day with a practice of gratitude, especially like when you don't want to. So again, thank you to everybody who has helped us get through 2024 and for all of your support. Love you guys. Until next time, make today great.